All right, here we go with example 2, multiplying polynomials. Again, we need to distribute. And so this is where sometimes when we look at a problem like this and I say, ooh, how are we going to deal with this problem? People will say, oh, we need to FOIL. Not really. So foiling is only applied to when we have a binomial times a binomial, so we cannot do that here. So instead, if we can always think in terms of we're distributing, that might be a little bit better. So what is going to basically happen is I need to give a 2x to everything in this set of parentheses. Okay, so we'll do that with multiplication. 2x times x is 2x cubed. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. And 2x times 5 is 10x. Then I need to give a 3 to everything in this set of parentheses. So I'll have 3 times x squared, which is x squared, 3x squared, sorry. 3 times 4x is 12x, and 3 times 5 is 15. Of course, we would not want to leave our answer like this. We need to go ahead and combine some like terms. This should be x squared, I apologize. There it is. And then make sure that we have it in standard form. So I have 2x cubed, and I have no other x cubed terms, so 2x cubed is the first term. Then we have 8x squared. We also have 3x squared. That's 11x squared. We have 10x plus 12x, which is 22x. And we have 15 at the end. And this is in standard form, and the degree of this polynomial would be 3. That's the highest power of x that we have. Next, let's see, where do I want to go with this one? I think I can fit it at the bottom of this page. Hopefully, we're going to try that. Number 3. Hope that you guys can see this one. Yeah, this one won't take up too much space. All right, next we have 3x plus 2. Oh, goodness, starting over. 3x plus 2 times 4x plus 5. Okay, so again, we're going to think about distributing this to multiply these polynomials together. And we'll start with 3x, so 3x times 4x and 3x times 5. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. 3x times 5 is 15x. Then we'll distribute the 2 to each term in this polynomial. So we have 2 times 4x, which is 8x, and 2 times 5, which is 10. Again, make sure that you combine like terms and write it in standard form. So our final answer, 12x squared. Then we have 15x plus 18x, which is 23x, and plus 10. And this would be the polynomial written in standard form, and this polynomial would have a degree of 2. Okay, so that's all about multiplying polynomials. Again, you've done this so many times, I think that will probably be mostly okay, but just wanted to review it. However, we do have some things called special products, and special products, I'm going to put my face in here. Special products are very important, okay? So make sure that you pay attention to special products. And what you're going to find is that kind of as we go through the rest of the year, once we have these special products, we are not going to spend time writing things out and multiplying. We're just going to know when I see that I'm multiplying conjugates or the sum and difference of two terms, we're going to know what the answer is. And when we need to square a binomial, we're not going to stop and say, wait, Miss Sumler, where did that middle term come from? I don't get that. Because now we're going to just know. And we're not going to have time to spend talking about, well, you have to write it out in FOIL. We're not going to do that anymore. So pay attention to these, and really, 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 when you're working on your assignment, try very, very hard to use the special product rules versus writing things out and foiling or any other method that you might use. Okay? All right, so let's get started. Sum and difference of two terms, basically multiplying conjugates. We talked about this last week, I think it was sometime, with rationalizing denominators. It says that a plus b times a minus b is a squared minus b squared, or the difference of two squares. And in addition, we know that a minus b times a plus b also is a squared minus b squared because of the commutative property of multiplication. Okay, so we have, let's just do a quick example here. For instance, example, 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 3. Now, one of the hard things, or one of the things that sometimes gets people on these problems is we recognize that we're multiplying conjugates, or that we have the sum and difference of two terms. And we think, oh, okay, we need to square 2x, right? It's the first thing squared. And they go, okay, 2x, and I square that, I get 2x squared. No, you have to square everything. So that's actually 4x squared. And then we need minus, always a minus. The second thing squared, so 3 squared in this case, which is 9. There's our answer, and we're good to go. Okay. All right, next, on squaring a binomial. We have a couple of different, I guess, I hate to call them formulas, but that's sort of what they are. So a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, and again, this is, we talked about this with the properties of exponents. We have a property for the power of a product and power of a quotient. We do not have a property for the power of a sum, which is what this is. So if we wrote this out, a plus b times a plus b, this is what we get every time. A lot of times, and I'm telling you, it happens every year. I have to even remind the calculus students at the beginning, hey, a plus b squared is not a squared plus b squared. There's a middle term in there that you have to take care of. Okay. Similarly, if we have a minus b squared, this changes a tiny bit. Now it's minus 2ab and then plus b squared. Okay. So these are the kinds of problems that are super important to know how to do. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that. The Chiefs did something amazing, I think. It's Sunday afternoon, and maybe we intercepted. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we have y plus 5 squared. So we're going to try to follow this pattern where I have the first thing squared. In this case, that's y squared. Plus, then I'm going to have 2 times y times 5. Or sometimes what I'm thinking in my mind when I do this, and I try to do it quickly without having to write too much down, is I multiply these together and then multiply it by 2. So y times 5, or 5y times 2, is 10y. Plus the last thing squared, that's what b squared is, so this is 25. And it goes as quickly as that. I did not have to write anything extra. For all of you who are constantly wanting to not have to show very much work, here it is. I'm giving you that opportunity, but you need to make sure that you can do it and do it effectively and not get the wrong answer. Next, we have 3x minus 4 squared. Excuse me. So we're going to follow this pattern this time, and we'll have the first thing squared. So if I square 3x, I get 9x squared. Square the 3 and square the x. We're going to have a minus sign. I'm going to multiply these two things together, a times b, and multiply it by 2. 3x times 4 is 12x, times 2 is 24x. And square the last thing, 4 squared is 16. Okay, and it goes that quickly. And so you're going to do quite a few of these on your assignment. And if you, instead of trying to just, well, I'm just going to write them out and FOIL them every time. If you work on this and you do it over and over and over again, following these patterns, it will be easier for you and you will eventually get it. So that when I am showing examples on the board and we're having to square a binomial and I just write what it is, you're not like, wait, where'd you get that 10y from? All right, so, yeah. Okay, so again, sorry, this is about the 10-minute mark, and I'm afraid that it won't upload if I do much longer than this. So I'm going to stop this video. We just have a couple more small things to talk about. So it'll just be one more video. So I'm going to stop it, and then you can start with the next one.